Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, California Weather Watch. Today is November 28th, and right now we are looking at the visible satellite imagery. You can see that again, we are socking all the way through the Sacramento Valley, down through the San Joaquin Valley, into the Bay Area, and generally north of the Bay Area across the coastal areas. Southern California, Central Coast doing pretty nicely here this morning. There is some fog right off the Los Angeles coastline there as well. And you can see some of the snow across the higher terrain. If you get out of that fog, you get quickly into some of that glorious sunshine, and you can see Mount Shasta, Northern California there as well. So we're going to take a look at what is coming here over the next few days. Looks like we may have a system that's going to try to drop down across portions of Central and Southern California. I'll show you the latest on the model runs here on that as we go through the day today. Now, dense fog out there, again, just mentioning this. Forecast visibility is a quarter mile or less, widespread out there. Use your low beams, slow down, don't stop. You guys know the drill. Don't be driving around out there in that dense fog if you don't have to. And this is Hanford, California National Weather Service. Same things here. Um, Taking a look here at the high resolution rapid refresh. This is this morning. Again, you can kind of see the outline of the valley areas where the low elevations are and where that inversion is, where we're just trapped with that moisture down there. And every single morning and overnight hours, we go through this foggy cycle, and we go through tomorrow morning on Saturday. Look at that. Should be redeveloping yet again. And we go through Sunday, at least two more days here of that dense fog into a lot of the valley areas. And you can see it kind of creeping into Southern California there on Sunday morning. Let's take a look at Saturday morning. Also, some of that bobbing and weaving around some of Southern California here over the next couple of days. Same thing with the Bay Area. Now, if we take a look at the artificial intelligence, this is about 18,000 feet or 500 millibars up in the atmosphere. And if I put this into motion, you can see this cutoff low. We've been watching that one for a while. That's going to stay far enough away where it's not going to bring any impactful weather. But this next system here, you can see this trough carving out here across the southwest portion of the USA. Looks like this might be far enough west to create some precipitation here across central and southern California. I'll share the latest on that here more in a moment. But you can see the ridge continue to churn out there between Hawaii and the west coast of North America. Pacific Northwest kind of getting an active storm track pointed at it. Will any of these systems get down into California? Good questions. We'll take a look at that here more in a moment. As you can see, the ridge is pretty persistent here with this northwest flow across the west coast of North America through the extended forecast. Now, taking a look at what that would bring. So let's scroll out here. You can see that cutoff low there kind of retreat back away from the coastline. And then we scroll off in towards about next Tuesday afternoon. You can see some of this pushing down across portions of Nevada towards the Sierra Nevada by Tuesday night. And by Wednesday morning, we start to bring some precipitation, maybe even Tuesday night, to Southern California. You can see some of that kicking up across San Diego, maybe Orange, Los Angeles counties. And again, depending on the track of that low, it's going to mean everything depending on who gets what kind of precipitation. So we'll be watching that one pretty closely. Then you can see, again, active weather up into the Pacific Northwest, maybe some of the systems trying to clip portions of California at times. Now, if we take a look at the European deterministic model, let's see if it shows the same thing. We'll scroll out towards next week, and there we go on in through Tuesday night into Wednesday. And you can see it a bit more wet as well across into the San Joaquin Valley, even up towards the foothills, and maybe getting up towards the Bay Area as we go on in through next week. So again, it's nice to have a system to watch, and that could bring some additional precipitation amounts with it. Now, taking a look at the European, so what's going on there in the upper levels of the atmosphere, or the mid levels of the atmosphere is what I should say. But there's that cutoff flow. You can kind of see it drifting around out there. Again, stays far enough away that's not going to be an impact here to the state. And then if you take a look there, you can see the big pink blob moving down there off the coastline. That is what's going to be our next system there. Again, the track on this is going to mean everything on just how substantial this storm will be. And that probably is moving down on the day Tuesday, and we go through Wednesday and then Thursday of next week. Now, the GFS, let's see if it shows it. Well, we're going to scroll out here, and you can see that cutoff low there. And then this next system, it drives down. But you notice the GFS keeps us much further east, kind of coming across the Intermountain West. That would not be a very impactful storm for the state of California. And you can see this monster ridge out here right off the west coast of North America would be protecting California from any storm systems here as we go on through the extended forecast. This one is hot off the presses here. And again, it is the GFS, but, just a little bit of something different there for what is coming up. We're still a few days out from that system, so we'll be watching it here over the next few days. Now, looking at the European model, what would that bring? So let's scroll on through here and going on into next Monday here. Now we're on into Monday afternoon, and then Tuesday morning, see some of that precipitation coming across portions of Nevada, and then you can kind of see it take hold across Southern California, some of the San Joaquin Valley, and again, precipitation chances coming with that. But again, few days to go on that. Now, looking at wave action, I'll scroll through here. A little bit of some elevated action there for Northern California, but not too big of a deal. It doesn't mean you shouldn't always watch the ocean, though. Don't turn your back on the ocean. It is fall, and we're coming up on the winter months here, so just always kind of keep that in mind. But as you can see, no big wave action here over the next few days. A little bit of a bump there maybe as we go through next week as that storm system comes down off the coastline. We'll see about that. Now, daily 2-meter max temperatures. So you can see for today, Friday, November 28th, you can see some of those 70s out there across Southern California. Again, some areas that aren't breaking out fully are definitely going to have those temperatures suppressed. You can see Sacramento only making it to the mid 50s today, kind of chilly. And we go through Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Notice as we go towards Wednesday, we start to cool down the temperatures even across portions of Southern California. That is a result of that next upper level low dropping down across Southern California. So we'll see about that. But it might cool things off across the desert areas and Southern California as we go to the mid portion of next week. And daily 2-meter max minimum temperatures, we'll scroll through here. And it doesn't have too much of an effect on it there as we go on and through next week there as well. But you can see these overnight lows. It is getting to the late portion of fall, and we're almost to meteorological winter, which happens on December 1st. And you can actually see the experimental product on the Climate Prediction Center shows that slight risk for that precipitation coming as we go through the next few days. So yeah, something interesting to watch. Check out the Patreon page. Hopefully you guys are having a good day otherwise. Yeah, and I'll catch you in the next forecast.